I want to reach out to you about what is happening in UNRWA. And we've had a very important hearing this week on that. Can you bring us the latest on what's going on with that?
UNRWA is the UN Relief and Works Agency. It's basically a UN agency that just operates in the Palestinian territories there in Gaza Strip and the West Bank, or Judea and Samaria. And it has a lot of connections with Hamas. There were Israeli officials who shared intelligence with the United States that at least a dozen UNRWA employees actually participated in the October 7th terror attacks. And so 26 attorneys general from the states wrote a letter to congressional leaders asking them, let's cut off UNRWA funding, because it turns out that America is actually one of the biggest funders of this organization that is supplying aid to Hamas and actually participating in their terrorist activities.
Yeah, it's unbelievable that we would be giving an enormous amount of money to this UN agency that has, I mean, literally by so doing, we are funding what took place on October 7th in Israel. I'm glad you mentioned these AGs who were at the hearing this week. What kind of weight does their presence and their testimony provide to this whole issue?
Well, I hope it provides more moral clarity on the issue. Under the Trump administration, the U.S. completely cut off UNRWA funding because we recognized that they were helping terrorists, and that U.S. law says that's a crime to aid and abet terrorists. And then when the Biden administration took over, they reinstituted UNRWA funding, and UNRWA has received over $1 billion since 2021 from the Biden administration. Now it turns out that they've participated in these terror attacks.
All right, so let's hit that again, the contrast between what the Trump administration did and what the Biden administration did. This is like a difference in night and day.
That's right. We've known for a long time that UNRWA was indoctrinating young Palestinian children in schools to hate Israel, to want to be terrorists. There's recently resurfaced video of Palestinian children saying that again. We know that UNRWA has essentially admitted that these employees did actually participate in the terrorist attacks because they fired them. But what Israel also showed was that they have evidence documenting that at least 1,200 UNRWA employees are linked to Hamas. You know, dozens and hundreds of them even actively work in the terrorist organization. And the Biden administration doesn't appear to have a problem with this.
Joshua Arnold, thank you so much for joining us and bringing us up to speed on these issues.